Hi, my name is Gushan, and in this video I'll demonstrate access modifiers in C#. In C#, all types and type members have accessibility level. Types are the classes and structures in C#. Type members are fields, properties, or methods that are declared within the class. And the accessibility level controls whether they can be used from other code in your assembly or other assemblies. So using the accessibility level or using access modifiers, we can control whether a type or a type member can be accessed within the assembly or outside the assembly. Or if there's a field declared within the class, can we use it only within the class? Can we use it within the derived class? Can we use it in any other class within the assembly? This all can be controlled with access modifiers. In C#, there are 5 access modifiers: public, private, protected, internal, and protected internal. In this video, I'll demonstrate public, private, and protected. Internal and protected internal will be discussed in a separate video. So if you declare a type or a member as public, then that type or member can be accessed by any other code within the same assembly, or maybe we can also access that within a different assembly if it is referenced. A private type or member can only be accessed within the same class. So we cannot access a private field or a method outside of the class in which it is defined. A protected field or method can be accessed within the class in which it is defined, or it can also be accessed within a class that is derived from the base class. So these are 3 access modifiers that we'll discuss in this video. So let's demonstrate by an example. Here in Visual Studio, I have a console application and I have given the name access modifiers to this project. And in this project, I'll create a class. Let's call it my base class. And within this class, we'll have 3 fields. One is private, and maybe we can call it my private field. A protected field, and we'll call it int my protected field, and a public field, and I'll call it my public field. So this class declares 3 fields. One is private, protected, and a public field. Now let's try to instantiate this class and try to access these fields. So within the main method, I'll create the object of my base class. Let's call it base object. And now using this object, I can only access the public field. So you can see here by IntelliSense, it's only giving me access to the public field. I cannot access a private or a protected field. So let's try to assign some value to this public field. So this is fine. However, if I try to access a private field, maybe forcefully, I'll write it over here, my private field, and try to assign some value to it, you'll see the C# compiler gives me the error. It says my private field is inaccessible due to its protection level. Similarly, if I try to access the protected field, and maybe assign some value to that, I'll get the same error. My protected field is inaccessible due to its protection level. So I cannot access these fields outside the class in which they are declared. The reason? The private field is declared private, can only be accessed within this class. The protected field is declared as protected, can only be accessed within this class or any class that inherits it. On the other hand, the public field can be accessed anywhere within this project, can also be accessed in another assembly if it is referenced. We'll look in that example once we do internal and protected internal. So at this point I'm gonna delete these two statements. Now let's create another class that inherits the base class. Class my derived class, and this derived class inherits my base class. Now within this class I'll create a method, private void, I'll call it my method, and in this method I'll create an object of the derived class, so my derived class, and I'll create the object. Now using this object I can access a public field, I can access a protected field. So public field, as we discussed earlier, can be accessed anywhere within the project, it has no restrictions. The protected field can be accessed in the same class in which it is declared or in the class that is derived from the base class. So here I can have access to protected field, maybe I assign 100 to this field. I do have access to public field. So this is all fine. At this point, if I try to build my solution, it works. Build succeeded. However, if I try to access private field, I'll get the same error. My private field is inaccessible due to its protection level. So by using these private, protected, and public access modifiers, we can control whether a field can be accessed within the class, in the derived class, or maybe outside the derived class. So just to summarize all of this, a private field can only be accessed in the class in which it is declared. A protected field can be accessed within the class in which it is declared and any other class that inherits the base class. So we can access this. A public field has no restrictions. It can be accessed anywhere within the assembly, within this project, or in other projects that reference this project. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.